things you don't like being told.
Okay, before we talk about anything here, what's going on? Because the last time I had a chance to speak with you, you went by a certain name.
Yes.
And now that I'm talking to you, there's another name right off the top. What is going on here?
Well, first and foremost, I kind of did a little refresh on social media and everything, and the first post that I made with the new name, I did a little write-up as well, because sometimes it can be a little bit of a shock for people.
Yeah, shock for me.
Yeah, but the most important thing is that it's essentially, it's still me. I'm still the same person. It's not like I'm rebranding to become like this, I don't know, like a country singer extraordinaire or anything like that. It's still me. But I felt like it needed, kind of like the package needed a little bit of a rebranding in terms of just the name, and especially with throughout the last year, I've been doing a lot of writing, and I feel like I've developed and grown as an artist so much in the last year, and it felt like, it just needed a new packaging. You know what I mean? So that's all it is.
Okay, so let's make sure that folks now know what is the new name and what does that new name actually mean?
So the new name is NIIVA, NIIVA. What it means, we went through a lot of different options when, because I've been thinking about changing the name for a minute now. So we went through a lot of different options, and I kind of wanted it to be something that means something to me, that is related to me, that's related to my name, but that's just kind of short and sweet. And essentially, so it's actually it's a simple thing. So my last name is Geneva, and it's basically just the tail end of that, NIIVA, but spelled a little differently with the two I's. And that's it.
Okay, so this is my first time to get to say NIIVA. It's great speaking with you, and I'm so happy to get a chance to talk to you two. I mean, I was thinking about, some of the last times when I had a chance to see you. Last year, of course, we were together over in Toronto by City Hall. We were doing an interview with a single that you had just released, and then you gave me some great little gifts that I still have, my coasters and everything else, so thank you for that. And then, of course, you were helping me out, too. You were part of a judging panel that we had, and this was for these kids at a hospital, and you were so great because the kids were performing, and you were a judge, and you were amazing at that, too. So, I mean, we have a history.
We do.
But now the history has changed a little bit because we are now part of a global history, bringing people together because of what's going on with this coronavirus. So the fact that you and I have not had a chance to see each other because of this is kind of tough, but I'm glad we have this kind of technology that we can talk on the phone. How are you doing? How are you holding up? And what area of the country are you in right now?
I'm still in Toronto. My family is in Vancouver, so that's been kind of tough. But yeah, definitely still. I'm cooped up in Toronto. But the thing is, it is a tough time. It really is, and we've all had to kind of reevaluate a lot and learn how to do things a little bit differently. And that, I'm not trying to sort of diminish how serious the situation is, but I do think that we can find silver linings in it. I think what you were saying, like, it's the only thing that's able to bring all of us together like this, because everybody's going through it. So as horrible as it is, it's been kind of unifying, and like, I've reached out to people that I haven't reached out in years, just to say hello, because it just kind of makes you think, oh, how's this person doing? Like, we used to talk a lot. How are they doing throughout this entire thing? So, as bad as it is, I think it's teaching us positive things in certain aspects. So I'm doing okay. So some days are more, motivational than others. Some days I'm just on the couch, but overall, I don't think we have it as bad as, let's say, like the wars before. You know, I think we're still blessed with like modern technology and stuff like that. We still have ways to stay connected. So I think, yeah.
Well, this is going to be tough for you also because I know you. I know the way you are with your fans when you meet them. There's always hugs and pictures and things like that. Will you have to reevaluate now how you approach fans once this is lifted and we can at least be around people?
You literally know me so well. That's the number one thing, because we've done sort of drive-bys with people that I know, and you've seen videos of it. You kind of drive by, you're in the car, they're in the side of the street, you don't touch. I've done that, and that kills me truly. Like, I'm such a touchy-feely person. I think definitely, like, we'll, especially, you know, coming out of it straight away, it's going to have to be, even though we're out in public and able to talk to each other, I think it'll definitely kind of, it's brought to light that, you know, you need a certain level of distance, I suppose, which yeah, for me is difficult because I'm so much about physical touch and like connection that way. But yeah, I think things are definitely going to have to adjust considering what's happening.
Absolutely. But as we're adjusting to this new world and adjusting to your new name, we don't have to adjust when it comes to music, when it comes to you, because it's always amazing. Throughout, with this tough time going on, you are releasing a new single. What's going on here?
Yeah, you know what? I obviously every single one of my friends who are artists, and you know, we all say the same thing. It's a difficult decision to decide whether or not to release something during this situation. But the way I looked at it is, Lady Gaga announced just towards the beginning of this whole thing that she was going to postpone the album because she didn't feel right. And I remember just being kind of upset about it because I'm like, listen, please give us something to listen to do, like something positive, something other than just this COVID-19 news every 2 seconds. Like, just give us something to distract us from for a little bit, you know, not to ignore what's happening, but just something to change up the pace of the news and like everything that we're taking in. Mm-hmm. And so I just thought, you know what, I think if we stop making music and releasing music as well on top of everything else that's stopped, then what's the point? You know, I felt like, and I say this to every one of my friends who has the same sort of dilemma, I think you should just release it. Because people have reached out to me as well regarding that, saying, you know, people want music right now more than ever. People want something, you know, something to listen to look at. So that's why I decided to release it.
What's the new single and what's it about?
So it's called Love Games. It was we wrote it maybe just under a year ago, and it's about, specifically for me, I know who it's about, but it's essentially about being in a relationship or being in a situation where you know it's not the best for you. You realize it's not exactly the most functional thing in the world, but you're choosing to be in it essentially because you love the person, or you're just okay with being in the situation. So it's not really like, you know, I don't like to do a lot of finger pointing in songs, but it's more so about, this is where we are. You're kind of, you suck a little bit, but I'm also kind of crazy because I'm in it. But, you know, it's dysfunctional and it's like perfectly imperfect, and we're in it, and that's it.
Playing along with these love games, all these love. Sometimes I feel it's a damn shame, it's a guess in a shame.
And you know, sometimes those are the best ones.
I mean, they certainly make the most impact. I'll tell you that much. I'm writing songs about it like 10 years later. So,
and I love that, because let's face it, not everybody is Kenna and Barbie. Okay,
100. Most people are not.
No. So I love the fact that you went into this type of storyline. I think it's very relatable to a lot of people. So having a single like this, does that mean that there's more singles in the future? And will there be an EP or album in the future?
Well, yes. So this is the first single. It's actually the second single, but the first single kind of leading up to an EP that I'm going to be releasing. So I'm super excited. It's going to be my first EP as a solo artist ever.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a lot of hard work, and it's coming. And there's going to be a couple more songs coming before the actual EP comes out. So I'm super excited.
Well, we're excited too. In the meantime, a lot of artists are doing on live streaming performances. I know you're very active on social media. Will there be performances coming up too with you?
Yeah, definitely. I actually love live streaming. I'm not the most comfortable with it yet, but I love doing it, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
I jumped on a couple Instagram lives actually in the last week, just with friends, kind of chatting, and actually I do a lot of live streaming, like gaming, but in terms of my music, I haven't really done that on my channel yet, but I really, really want to. And I'm kind of saving like my first like personal Instagram live, for example, or like Facebook live, probably for when the EP comes out. I want to have like, hopefully we're not still in isolation, but if we are, then I want to kind of have like a virtual hangout release party, like people listen to it, and they have a chance to tell me what they think right away, because that's my favorite part of performing live, is being able to read your reaction, like, oh, I could tell you're into this song, I could tell that maybe you're kind of bored of this one, you know what I mean? So I really want to do something like that for when the EP drops. But I wanted to tell you, because you mentioned the kids from the judging thing that
Yes.
we did at the hospital.
Yes.
Even though I can't touch them, actually, I've stayed in touch with a couple of them online.
That's so great.
So it's super cute.
Oh, my goodness. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of effect you have with people. It's not just your music, it's your heart also, And,
Thank you.
And for folks who listen to this is the first time we've judged together. We also did something with the TPC when they were doing a big celebration and raising money for charity. And I had done this for years. Two of the judges ended up dropping out. I needed two judges. You were one of them. You were one of the first people I thought of, and you were amazing at that too. I'm hoping in the future we could do more judging together because, like I said, you are just such a natural. People love you. They love everything about you. And it's people like you that makes this tough time a little bit better. So thank you for that too.
Thank you so much.
Social media, where do we go to follow you with everything that's going on?
So everything's pretty cohesive. So everywhere it's at It's NIIVA. At It's NIIVA. So the double I, NIIVA. It's NIIVA.
Fantastic. Oh, and by the way, too, one other thing. Will there be new merch coming out now that you've got the new name?
Oh, true. You know what? I hadn't even thought about merch. If you want it, I will do it for you.
Fantastic. Oh, and one other thing, too, before we go, does that mean the coasters and stuff that I've got, is that now collector's items because that goes by the name?
That's exclusive, yeah. That's like, you're going to get millions of that one day.
Okay, so I got it. Next time we do see each other, I got to get you to sign that, too, so I can put that in the frame. Absolutely love that.
Sure.
You be safe. Thanks so much for doing the interview with me, and crossing fingers at some point before this year is done, we get to see each other in person, and I get to be in the audience somewhere where you're performing live. I'm so looking forward to that.
I hope so. Thanks for having me, Rudy.
You take care. Talk soon.
Okay, bye.
All these lies, all these